Week 13, Miami heading to Washington, sitting at 8-3. Season's going by quick, boys and girls, but we got another game to talk about. Let's jump into it. What is up, Fin fans? Preview. Now, I'm recording this Thursday. My Friday got jam-packed. Normally, I wait until the last final injury report comes out so we can kind of predict who's going to be in and out. But, like I said, my Friday got jam-packed. So, I'm recording this Thursday like I usually do, so we're not going to have the full Friday injury report, but I'm going to talk still about the injury report and all that stuff. But I have a few things I want to talk about, and then we'll get into the preview. First and foremost, my guy, brother from another mother, Stephen D. If you don't know him from Miami sports music, I don't know why I had a brain fart with that. Him and Solo D do some great things over there. Clock blockers, all that great stuff. He constantly puts events together, and he is doing one for the game on Sunday. So if you're going to be in DC for this Washington versus Dolphins game, he has put a huge event together. So Saturday night, he's going to be at Admiral Upton from 6 till 9. And DJ Sky Sick Turtle is going to be performing as well as Solo D. And then Sunday's tailgate, let me give you more specific, is going to be, you can see where the X is, where the bus and RVs are. It's by the green lot. That's where the tailgate's going to be. So if you're a Dolphin fan and you're going to be in the area, check them out Saturday, and then check them out Sunday during the tailgating. It's going to be super fun. Stephen D, Solo D, all doing great things. Again, if you've ever been to the MetLife Takeover, they do some great things over there as well. So go check them out if you're going to be at the game. And if you need more information, you can hit him at Stephen D SKPL, at Stephen D SKPL. That is his Twitter name. So go check him out and go support one of my guys, one of my bros. The other thing, Jalen Phillips yesterday, surgery was a success. Day one of many. I'm built for this, which is great to hear that he is going through that process, and you know, he's in a good mindset, which is really awesome. And then we have this, and I posted this in the community tab. So again, if you are subscribed, which hopefully you are, if not, be sure to hit that button. I posted this already, but I'm gonna give you a little bit more of my thoughts on it. Now, should the Dolphins go after Zach Ertz? Why not? I don't see why it would be a problem. It's probably cost about $2 million if they claimed him. The Dolphins sitting at, I think, 25 when it comes to the claims, and he wants to play for a contender, as you can see what it says. I don't see why not. What's the harm in going out and claiming him? I don't think that's a bad thing at all, and I think it'll definitely help the tight end group. We're kind of banged up. Durham Smythe banged up. Chase Claypool and Tanner Connor aren't listed as tight ends, but they are tight ends. Not Tanner Connor, Eric Uzukama. They're banged up, and then you got Tanner Connor on the practice squad, YZ on the practice squad, Tyler Croft barely sees the field. Julian Hill has a little bit of a Butterfinger situation. Why not bring in Zach Ertz? So I'm for it. I don't see how it's a negative to bring in Zach Ertz. So comment below. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think that's it. I think that's all the news and notes I want to give you before we jump into the video. Just little tidbits before we jump into the video. So without further ado, let's jump into the injury report. Now we'll start with Washington, because unfortunately for the Dolphins, this is Washington's injury report. They have two guys, Emmanuel Forbes Jr., their corner, dealing with an elbow injury. He hasn't practiced, today for me, yesterday for you guys, or Wednesday. And defensive end James Smith-Williams has a hamstring injury. He hasn't practiced for 2 days. Then their fullback Alex Oma. It looks like I think it's Arma. I'm sorry, I butchered your name. He was limited, and then Tyler Larson, who's their center, did not practice to limited. Now, the reason I'm starting with the Commanders, because look at the Miami Dolphins injury report. Jeez Louise, would you just look at this thing? And I can't even cut off bits of it, because normally, like, if they were like went from limited to full, I could like just crop out stuff. I can't. I'm trying here so you could see my face. Look at this. It's ridiculous. Now you got the two did not practices in Javon Holland and Kendall Lamb, knee and a back injury. John's had high spirits. Kendall Lamb, I don't know what's going on to him. Devon Achane seemed to be good to go. Teron Armstead on Twitter said, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet. He said he will do better this weekend. So we'll see about that. I'm hearing Chris Brooks has a good chance of coming off the IR. Elijah Campbell, Bradley Chubb is fine. Chase Claypool is trying to get back in there. Lester Cotton dealing with an illness, so I think he should be fine. Long snapper was limited. Tyreek Hill went from did not practice to limited. Robert Hunt, I'm hearing he was active, so he's going to play on Sunday. I'm not worried about him. Alec Ingold, foot, ankle. I think a lot of these limited are just resting them. Raheem Mostert went from a rest to limited. Durham Smythe, again, you see why I want to bring in Zach Ertz. But here's the thing I want you guys to notice, right? And a lot of times you'll see injury reports. You still don't see me. Sorry, guys. I need to give this up to talk to you about what is going on, what I'm about to say. So there's a lot of times you'll see injury reports and you're like, why are they on there if, blah, blah, blah. Look at Tua on the bottom. He had a right arm laceration, full practice. If you get any type of treatment, you need to be on the injury report. So some of these limiteds don't really worry about it. Like I said, Bradley Chubb, don't worry about it. Robert Hunt, don't worry about it. He's going to play. Raheem Mostert's going to play. Durham Smythe, Connor Williams, they're all going to play. I'm back. But it's long. For a team that just came off a bye 2 weeks ago, that's a long flipping injury report. What the crap? We were supposed to be healthier. But let's go into the breakdown before I start crying. The breakdown here, we're going to start with the Fins defense and the Washington Commanders offense. Make sure that that's them. That's them right there. The Dolphins defense, 7th. Total defense is 7th. 7th. Passing defense is 11th. Rushing defense is 6th. Scoring defense needs to be a little bit better, 23rd. Sacks, 3rd. Third down defense, 9th. Takeaways, a little bit better there. Get a little bit more turnovers, 20th. I'm going to say it, and I'm not going to say it again. This is going to be the last time I say it. So many people wanted Vic Fangio gone. So many people. So many live streams. This is Vic Fangio. I thought Vic Fangio was supposed to be blah, blah, blah. This is garbage. Fire Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio sucks. Blah, 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 blah. And I kept telling people over and over and over, and ad nauseum, to the point where I started ignoring the comments on the live stream, that it takes more than 4 weeks for the defense to start to click. I said in the preseason, and I was saying it during the season. People weren't listening to me. They just were angry, and they were yelling, even though we were 3-0 at the time. Do you get it now? We have a 7th total defense. We have the number 1 offense, and we have the 7th defense. We have 2 top 10 teams, both sides of the ball. And you look at their offense, not a bad offense. 14th in total offense, 9th in passing, 25th in rushing, 20th in scoring, 31st in sacks allowed. They gave 55 sacks. You're going up against a team that's 3rd in sacks. Third down offense is 18th, and giveaways is 30th. They love to get the ball away. So take advantage of that and take the ball away. Now let's flip it on its head and look at the Dolphins offense versus the Washington defense. Like I said, 1st total offense, 1st in passing, 2nd in rushing, 2nd in scoring, 3rd in sacks allowed, which is ridiculous. Third down offense is 12th. That got better. Takeaways, we're going to get to that in the 5 things. Needs to be better. But the fact that we are third, only 18 sacks on the season, when we're might possibly have another alteration or another combination of 5 guys on the field, but we've only given up 18 sacks. Butch Berry, Tua Tagovailoa, and the guys, fantastic. Absolutely love it. Why is 2 in there? Because pocket presence matters. And then you look at their defense. Total defense, 29th. Passing defense, 30th. That's not good. Rushing defense, 17th. That ain't going to help you. Scoring defense, 32nd. Sacked, 8th. They're up there. 35 sacks. Third down defense, 18th. And takeaways, 25th. They don't get a lot of takeaways. But their passing defense being 30th is not going to bode well for them. Especially with the Dolphins having the number 1 passing offense. Not going to bode well for them. But before we get into the PFF, I do have to shout out today's sponsor. And I always do it at this point in the video. For one, because they give us some really cool props to look at. Prop bets. And they give us the spread and all this really cool stuff. And that is my guys at BetUS. Go check them out. Fantastic. You receive 125% bonus. Link is in the description. And let's hear from BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Like I said, really good website. Really, trustworthy. Forbes talked about them. 24 hours you get paid. Not 7 days, not 5 business days. 24 hours later. Paid. So check them out. And like I said, they gave us some really cool things to look at. Like the spread here. 10 points the Dolphins are giving. They're the road team giving 10 points. The money line. The over-under, 49.5 points. I take the under on that. Kind of giving you a little bit of a little preview of my final score prediction. I take the under on that, on the 49. And then we have the prop bets here. Again, they have really cool prop bets as well. Tua Tagovailoa, over-under pass interceptions. You got over a half, under a half. I'm going to talk about that in a hot minute too, but that's a big point. And I asked them, can you send me a prop bet of 2 interceptions? Because it's bothering me lately. And they also have Tyreek Hill, receiving yards, over 100, under 100. Is he going to get 100 yards against a very bad pass defense? Check them out. BetUS, fantastic, fantastic site. Now let's get into that good old PFF. Full plan. Squeeze myself down into the corner. So we're looking at the Dolphins offense versus their defense. Now, you're going to have, instead of Liam Eichenberg here, you're going to have Robert Hunt. And they might kick Liam Eichenberg back over here. But you're looking, Jalen Waddle, 6th. Tyreek Hill, 1. Tua, 4th. Mostert, 4th. This is probably going to be Braxton or Craycraft. Durham Smythe, meh. But you look at the offense. You got a number 1 center in the middle there. Snaps are getting somewhat better. Tua is still reaching around everywhere. Austin Jackson, I think, should be a little bit higher. But I think he's doing fantastic at right tackle. Eichenberg, Cotton. I wish Isaiah Wynn was still there. And then Teron Armstead. Is he playing? Is he not playing? He said that he wants to play, so we'll see how that all pans out. You look at their defense. They don't have Sweat. They don't have Young. We don't have to deal with that. Payne is good. Allen's good. But outside of that, it's like, same thing with the defense. Same thing with the safeties. You got Fuller over here is good corner. But their secondary is 30th ranked. Pass defense is 30th ranked. Dolphins should have no problem moving the ball against this defense. And if we flip it over and look at our defense versus their offense, look at AVG over here, 8th. AVG, Wilkins, Bradley Chubb, Sealer going up against this offensive line ain't too bad but it ain't too good either. You got McLaurin, Samuel, Dotson, pretty good wide receivers, but they finally put Jalen in the ratings. 6th. Kader Kohu, the sledgehammer of the defense. That man makes tackles like it's no one's business. Xavier Howard still doing his thing. You got Gibson in the backfield. You got Howell. And you look at our defense. Now, Javon Holland, I don't know if he's going to play or not. He's dealing with 2 knee injuries, so he might not. And if he doesn't, Brandon Jones will be back there. This could be the game to rest him. I'll talk about that in a hot minute. But this is a game the Dolphins should win. And I'm going to get into all that stuff. But yeah, so let's jump into the 5 things that the Miami Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this Washington football team. Now, again, as I'm doing research, I'm looking at, players and stats, and I just start jotting down. So it's no specific order. Like, number 1 is the most important. They got to do this. But it kind of is, because number 1 is no turnovers. For the love of everything holy, stop turning the ball over. The last game where they had no turnovers was the Broncos game. They had 2 turnovers versus the Bills, 3 turnovers versus the Giants, 1 turnover versus the Panthers, 1 turnover versus Philly, 2 turnovers versus New England, 1 versus Kansas City, 3 versus the Raiders, and 3 versus the Jets. Stop turning the ball over, for the love of God. Tua needs to be smarter with his passes, and they need to hold the ball more. The fumbling with Julian Hill and Tua, and then like a lot of people with Evans want to blame Tua for that, even though the ball hit him. And then it's just so many miscommunications, so many bad plays here and there. Clean that crap up. Because you're facing a team with Howell, I almost said Holloway. Howell, who's a decent quarterback. Don't give him more chances to try to score on you. Take your offense, march it down the field against their bad defense, and score the ball. Stop turning the ball over. For the love of God and everything holy on this earth. The number 2 thing on my list, speaking of Howell, you got to sack the man. You got to sack the man. They are 8th in pressure, 23.1% of the time, and they are 2nd in sacks. Howell himself is number 1 in the NFL in getting sacked. Now, he's mobile. So you want to contain him, you want to keep him in the pocket, and you want to sack him. That's why I have it in here. It's like, no duh, Doug. Obviously, we want to sack the quarterback. But you want to do it, and you want to do it against a mobile quarterback. Dolphins tend to have problems against mobile quarterbacks, and he's not a bad quarterback. I think he's leading the league in passing yards right now. He's a decent quarterback. And it's not one you can take lightly. So you need to get pressure on him. You need to sack him. Again, he is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. 8th in pass in pressure percentage, 23.1. Get after the man. Make his life a living hell. Make them one-dimensional. Well, stop the run. It's not on my list because it should be an obvious. Stop the run. Make him one-dimensional and get after him. And sack him. Number 3 on my list. Kaplow. We got to run the ball. I think that's a given. They don't have that great of a rush defense. The defense in a whole isn't great. But run the ball. Get Mostert incorporated. I don't know if Achane is going to play, but it seems like he is. It seems like they kept him out against the Jets because it was a short week. He could have played if he wanted to. But you got Jeff Wilson also back there, a hard-nosed runner. Feed the guys the ball. Run the ball, especially on short downage. We saw that towards the end of the Jets game. It was like 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. We handed the ball off, easy first down. I think it was Jeff Wilson who got it. Continue to run the ball because then opens up play action. You can start to throw the ball down the field. It makes the defense honest. They don't just stack the box and try to get after the quarterback. Make them honest, run the ball, and stick with running the ball. Number 4 thing on my list, you got to keep the defense up, baby. Howell leads the league in interceptions. 13 interceptions that man has thrown. I showed you the statistics. We're not that high in takeaways. 20th? Go get some interceptions. Now this defense, now that we got Jalen in there, is ridiculous. The Dolphin defense since week 8, when Jalen Ramsey made his debut, 4th in points, 1st in total yards allowed, 2nd in interceptions per game, 5th in opponent's passer rating. I can't talk today. And 2nd in opponent's third down percentage. Got to keep that up. Since week 5, not even since Jalen came back, since week 5, We are first in total defense, first in yards per play, first in opponents' points allowed, second in rush defense, second and third down, second in first downs allowed, third in net yards per pass attempt, fourth in yards per rush, and seventh in passing defense. And that's with facing the Chiefs. That's with facing my brain's shutting off. That's with facing the Chiefs and facing the Eagles. This defense is doing really well. And what I love the most, Jalen Ramsey coming out on Twitter and retweeting the since Jalen's been back, and he says, nah, this is what we're not gonna do. It ain't just me. I've been able to be another a puzzle piece for sure, but all my dogs, the whole defense, been on another level. We have a lot of Pro Bowl and all pro players on the squad. Keep that defense up. Get after this offense, and you got to keep it up, especially facing the Cowboys, the Ravens, and the Bills at the end of the season, and then going into the playoffs. Keep up the defense. And the last and final thing, which will coincide with my prediction, is change the narrative. There is a huge narrative that the Dolphins collapse in December. There's a huge narrative that Tua's worst month of playing football is in December. You don't know what it is, if it's brain farts or this or that. Change the narrative. And that is a huge factor. Last year, we got hot, 8-3. Then we lost to the 49ers, we lost to the Chargers, we lost to the Bills, we lost to the Packers, we lost to the Patriots. 5 games in a row we lost. We got lucky that we faced the Jets and then made the playoffs. Got to change that narrative, and we got to change the way this team works at this point in the year. We should have beat the Chargers last year. They were not the better team. And on primetime, the game got flexed to primetime, and we got embarrassed. These next 3 games, they should win. They should be 3-0 on these next 3 games. The Miami Dolphins are a better team than the Washington Commanders, than the Tennessee Titans, and the Jets. And 2 of those games are at home, Tennessee and the Jets. They should be 3-0 going into Christmas Eve, and they should be sitting there at 11-3. This is the time to change that narrative. This is the time for Tua to make the corrections on his dumb interceptions, make the correction on the turnovers, the whole offense in a whole. Mike McDaniel making corrections on getting the plays in late. This is the time to fix it before you hit the playoffs. It's been too long since we won a playoff game. We want to win it. Change the narrative. I have the Miami Dolphins winning this game 35-10. Again, the over-under, I think, was 49, so I have them win, total 45 points. I take the under. But that's what I expect. Their defense isn't good. Their pass defense is not good at all. I think I said 30th ranked. The Dolphins should be scoring. They give up turnovers, lots of them. They give up sacks, lots of them. The defense should be feasting on their offense. This should be a game where the Dolphins blow Washington out. The Cowboys blew them out on Thanksgiving. The Dolphins should come in. If you want to compete with the big boys, you do the same thing. And the Dolphins should blow them out 35-10. This is that game. Even, we'll talk about it when we get to Tennessee. But they should win these next 3 games. They're the better team. Change the narrative. Don't collapse at this point. It's incredibly important to win these games. If you win the next 3 games and the Bills lose one game, because the Bills sitting right now at 6-6, I think. Yeah, 6-6. So if the Bills lose one game, they'll have 7 losses. If the Dolphins win the next 3, the worst they can do is have 6 losses, and they will clinch the AFC East. Take care of business. Who gives a crap that we haven't beat a winning team? Who gives a crap? Because it's dumb. If we would have lost to the Raiders, we would have lost to a winning team. If we would have lost to the Jets, they would have been the Chargers. They would have been 1-0. We would have lost to a winning team. The teams aren't winning teams because we beat them. Take the narrative, shove it up your butt. Take care of business. Don't be like these other teams that are losing to the Cardinals, that are losing to the Giants, that are losing to the teams they should be beating. Beat the teams you're supposed to. We haven't done that for so long. Keep doing it. Win this game 35-10. I will see you guys on Sunday, 1 o'clock. Let's get the dub. But like usual, stay classy. FN's up.